Hi, this is Mr. Kieffer again. We're going to show you how to do the chair. And so we'll take a look at that. Of course, you can see that down in the attachment down here. You can look at it. But let's go ahead and get started right away. Go to Tinkercad. You'll put in your nickname. I'll put in mine. You put in yours. You got yours with your email. So it should work out pretty well. Internet seems to be working okay today. So you'll join with your nickname, which is the green bar. And then you'll just type in your nickname. And that's me. Please don't use that, by the way. You'll just be adding stuff to my file and you won't get any credit for it. So there we go. We're going to create a new design. And as we think about doing these drawings, it is good to come up with a plan. My plan for today is to make the big box, make the big whole box, and then we'll take out 1, 2, 3 pieces off of that box, and then we should be good to go. But there's a little bit of, each step along the way requires certain things. So we'll go ahead and grab this red cube. Just click on it, and then you can put it anywhere on the grid you want. It really doesn't matter where. And so I'll put it right there. And I like to remove, make that smaller so it's in the way, minimize that. So we're going to go ahead and work on the height first, which, I kind of made a mistake here. I'm wondering if it's too late to change it, but I think I'm just going to change the grid to, I get so excited and I forget to do some of these basic things. Update the grid to 1 inch. I hope that's going to still work okay. I think it probably will. And then also I want to call this the chair. We'll just say chair. Let's call it chair using grid because I'm trying to use the grid with this chair. Okay, so let's get back to working on the height, and that is going to be 2.5. We'll hit enter, and then we will work on the depth and the length. The depth would be 3.5 tab, and then the length would be 2.5. And then hit enter, and that gives you the basic shape that you are going to be working from. So now we have the overall shape, and now it's just a matter of cutting out different things from that overall shape. So we will go to work plane. We'll go to this side right here and place a work plane on there. Just a regular left click does it. And I'm going to turn this. Remember, we have to get the work plane and the object to be in sync with each other. Let's see where we're at here. Switch to, we want to go to orthographic for right now for sure. And you'll notice if you look closely that it's not lined up. So you want to grab it, left click, grab it, and put it in the right position. And that should do it. It's on the grid. It looks like it's where it needs to be. Perfect. So now we'll go ahead and back off. And we will bring in the box to cut away from this. So let's go ahead and find that clear one. We'll go with the clear box or cube, I guess you could say. I think in some of my past videos, I kept calling it a cylinder, which is, I don't know what I was thinking. It's not right. But anyway, I'm not going to redo it. So we'll go ahead and put this right here like that. And what we can do is actually, let's just click right there and right here and get the size correct. It's going to be 1.5 up, hit tab, and then left and right is going to be 2.5 and hit enter. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. Now the other thing we needed to do is we needed to cut the other direction. So we're going to go negative, but how far negative should that be? Well, let's look at the depth, and that would be 2.5, negative 2.5, and hit enter. That should cut all the way through it. Now it's a matter of using your arrow keys to get it in the right place. And we want it flush with the left and then with the top. And that's why you have to line up the object with the grid. Because if you didn't have that lined up, then this would not work correctly and it'd be very frustrating, which I have tried. And so you can try it without doing that step, but it'll drive you nuts. Anyway, so we have this here, and it's looking good. We're making great progress. Just want to put a box around it and then combine those two pieces. So it has two shapes. We want to make them one, group them together, and that should cut that out, and it does. And it's always good just to get rid of this work plane that is just sitting there in the way, and we'll click off there. Now it did sink it down, but we'll deal with that later. That's not an issue for me. And so what we need to do is also cut this piece out here, and we will eventually need to do this piece here. So let's go to work plane. We'll go to the front, this side right here, and let's turn that. Again, we will want to make sure, let's just go to the front view, and we can hone in here. And again, it isn't exactly perfect, so left click, grab the part, and get it to line up with the grid, or the graph or grid, either one. That looks good, so it's lined up. So now it's just a matter of making a box the right size that will cut out the piece that we want, make it the right size, put it in the right spot, in the right location, and then combine the pieces. So let's go to box. And we'll just set it on top of the grid right there. And so the first thing we'll want to do is click right here. So the up and down of this box is going to be 0.5. So we'll go 0.5 and then hit tab. So we'll get to the other dimension. And its length is not 1 inch, it's 1.5. And then hit enter. So we have the right size box. We have to get it going in the right direction. So we'll click right here. That is 1 inch. So we'll click here and we'll go a negative 1 inch. Whoop, what's going on here? Try this again. Click there. And we'll go negative 1 inch and hit enter. And that should cut it straight on through. Hopefully it does. We'll be able to find out. Actually, we could take a peek and see if it does. Yep, it goes all the way through. And let's go to front, and that way we'll be able to zoom in and move it to the right spot. Like, you can move it wherever you want, but it needs to be in the center, and it should be a 1/2 inch from each side. So we can go up this way. And then what that would mean is it would need to have 4 of those boxes. This is 1/8, a 1/4, 3/8, and then 1/2 inch. So it's a 1/2 inch here and a 1/2 inch on that side. That looks really good. And let's zoom back out, take a look. Yeah, it looks excellent. So what we're going to do is draw this box around here again. And we will combine those two pieces right here, and that will remove that piece from there. So now all we really have to do is up front here, I am going to get rid of that plane that we don't need anymore because it just gets in the way. And another thing, if you want to move the whole piece, you push down on the roller on your mouse, and then you can slide it wherever you want. So let's go ahead and get this work plane going on here. And we'll go to front, and we'll make sure to move that so that it doesn't really matter, as long as it's on the grid, someplace on the grid. And that is on the grid. and that's good. So that's what you want. We'll go to box. Well, here, let's turn this slightly. I like to be able to see what's going on a little bit better. Let's go to the box, put that on the grid. And it doesn't really matter where because we can move it using the arrow keys. And so, first of all, I think it'd be fun to go ahead and go with the depth of it. And so we'll click here, and that needs to be a negative 1.5. And then hit enter. And then we also need to click here and there, and we need to get the height, which is going to be 1 inch, so that's good. So we'll tab to the other number, and it's kind of narrow, so it's going to be about it's exactly 0.5, and then we'll enter that. Okay, so let's go to the front view and move this to the place it needs to be. Now on each side there needs to be 1 inch. So to get this in the center, you want to have 1 inch on each side. So let me zoom in here just a little bit to make it easier to count. Now you could just guesstimate, but that's not a way to be accurate. The best way is to actually count. So 1 inch is going to be 8. If half inch is 4, 1 inch would be 8. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if we had it over here, we would count only 7, and then there would be 9 on that side. So we can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so there's 1 too many. So we just hit the arrow and bring it over to the other side. So we'll make it smaller. And we'll turn it so we can see it, make it a little bit smaller yet. Whoops, went the wrong direction. Put a box around here, and then we'll want to combine those pieces, those two shapes, combine them or group them. It'll cut it out, which is good. Then we'll want to get rid of this work plane again. So I like to go up here, click on the original work plane, get rid of that. And you'll notice that this one is definitely under the water or under the plane. And that is because we had to move it to get it to match up with those other planes. So there is a way to fix that. It's pretty straightforward. All we need to do is grab the ruler. It's going to be like that. I guess we'll click it over. It doesn't really matter if it's out here or out there for our purposes now. We'll click on that, click on the object, and then you'll look for a number that's a negative. Sure enough, here it is over here. All the rest of the numbers are positive. We'll look for a negative number right here, and we'll click in 0 and then enter, and that will put it up flush with the work plane, which is excellent. And so we can actually get rid of that ruler by clicking on it, and then the best way is hitting escape. And now we can click on the object. We can slide it wherever we want it to be, and it has turned out pretty nice, I would say. And you can take a look at it from different angles. I really like using this cube, as you've noticed. You can turn it and put it the way you want it to be. If you want it to match how it is in the picture, it's about like that. So we'll call this chair using the grid, and we'll just go ahead and save it. And with clicking up here, Tinkercad dashboard, click there to save it. And that should do it for us. So I hope this is helpful. Of course, I'm always happy to try to answer any questions. When it comes to doing 3D modeling, you just got to keep beating your head against it until you finally get it. But once you do, it really is fun. Now, we're just doing these simple shapes and stuff, but you can start doing all sorts of other shapes and ideas on your own if you want to, which is really awesome. So it's loading it up right now, chair using the grid. Now it is this red. Maybe we should make it a different color. Let's go ahead and make it. I'm going to go ahead and I don't want to delete it. That's for sure. I'll get rid of that. Whoop. Okay, so I just clicked on it, so I'm going to tinker this. I want to change it to a different color because Red is fun, but I mean, there's other colors out there. So we're going to go ahead and change it to a different color. And that's really the nice thing, that if you need to save it and then come back to it later, you can. All you have to do is click on the object, open it back up, and it's here it is. It's right. We're right back to where we were. If I wanted to put holes in it or whatever I wanted to do, I certainly could. But I just want to change the color, so I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on this solid, and let's make it a dark green. That'll be cool. Oh yeah, that looks nice. So we'll go ahead and save it again, and now it'll be dark green. I hope that helps, and you have a fantastic day. And if I can help, just let me know. You take care now.